Shalom, shalom. It is Chayil Ariel Bat Yisrael. It has been about 10 months since I have done any type of video or anything like that. And excuse my face. I literally woke up about an hour ago. I still had makeup on, so you may see like traces of it on my face. But I hadn't posted in a while because I honestly felt like I had nothing to say. I honestly felt like no one was listening, nor did it matter. And I really felt like, who am I to speak? I had a few people that criticized me for making the videos, and those who don't have me on Facebook, I started off making videos on Facebook and talking about my journey through my divorce, becoming an Israelite, and understanding who I am and my knowledge of who I am. And I started just talking about common things that I was thinking about that I felt like everyone else was or could be. And I began to get a lot of support. Not like I was in the thousands, but a couple tens of people that were saying that it was helpful to them. And I began to realize that maybe this is what I was called to do. That I had always wanted to be a healer, and that maybe this was my way of healing through talking about myself, relating the scriptures, talking about what I had gone through, what I know, what I had seen, the Hebrew or the Black woman's plight, talking about what we have all gone through but never discussed. And I decided to do it on a bigger platform. So I decided that YouTube was the place to go. And I did about 4 videos, and I had some positive feedback, but I began a slow slump into depression. And to be honest, I kind of backed away from the Most High because I felt like I was unworthy. And truthfully, we are all unworthy. None of us deserve His love. None of us deserve His grace. None of us deserve the opportunity that we have daily to repent and to return to Him. But I had my own, demons, my own things telling me to pull away. I was incredibly lonely. I was incredibly hurt. I was lost. I keep saying every time I do these videos, I'm not going to cry, and here I go. I felt like, who would listen to me when I myself didn't have it all together? And then I read one of the verses, and I want to say that it was in Romans 12, but it says that we know in part and we prophesy in part. I actually just read that like 20 minutes ago, but it made sense. None of us have it all together. None of us are supposed to. It literally says that we are supposed to be the body of the Hamashiach, of the Son of the Most High. And with the body there comes different parts, different functions. We all have our own gifts. So the hand cannot do what the mouth can do, the eye cannot do what the foot can do. We are all to be different parts of the same body, of the same whole. So with that being said, my part, all that I can do is talk about what I know. I am not a teacher, nor am I trying to teach. Do I have Bible verses? Yes. Am I trying to overstep my bounds and become like some massive, I don't know, prophesier or something? No. But I am speaking on what I've gone through. And my journey. I am still in the process of healing, though my divorce has been final for a year and 6-7 months now. It is still a pain that I deal with daily. It's not something to easily let go of. And though I completely understand that he was not right for me, it doesn't make it hurt less. That was 10, 11 years of my life that I can't get back. And now I'm raising 2 children on my own, which is part of the reason why I sunk into such a depression, because I felt like nothing that I was doing was right. Nothing that I was doing was going to be good enough. I felt like I'm praying, but I don't even know if he hears me, if he cares to hear me. I felt like, why am I here? A woman can only do but so much on her own. And the whole world was on my shoulders. And I'm constantly feeling like I have to fix everything for everyone else, you know? Constantly feeling like I have to be the strong one. So when the strong one breaks and is broken, then who picks them up? Who tells them to hold on? Who tells them that it's going to be okay? And that was where my struggle came in. I had stopped going to my congregation for a while. And at first I didn't realize why. But I felt myself slipping. I had become lost. I'm still trying to find my way, if I'm being honest. I'm still trying to understand things, if I'm being honest. But I had become lost. And I became so focused on, if I just had someone for me, maybe everything would be okay. So I tried dating for a while. Then I completely gave up. because it was like nothing worked. And trying to be a Hebrew woman in this world and date is ridiculous. Some of our men are very forceful, and it can be a lot to deal with, to say the least. And then trying to date a man of the world is difficult because they want things and they don't understand things and they don't agree with things, and you have to explain things. So I gave up. I felt that maybe the Most High was saying for me that I needed to be alone, which makes no sense because it literally says it is not good for man to be alone. Now, though it says man, that would apply to the woman as well. I became so consumed with my own thoughts, my own worries, that I couldn't focus on anything else. Clearly I didn't write this whole thing out. But I have a few Bible verses. I'm not going to make this a super long video, but I am going to get back to reading, back to my videos, back to writing my book, back to the things that he revealed he wanted me to do. And hopefully I touch someone, even if I touch just one person from the little bit that I'm doing. It would mean so much. So I'm not worried about who likes what I'm saying. I'm not worried about who's listening. I'm just praying that my journey and my testimony will help someone. So I was asleep about an hour and 20 minutes ago, and I woke up, spoke to my mom for a while, and I don't know, I had this urge to make a video, and I believe the Most High was telling me to talk about patience, because that is something that I do not have, that I have not had in this whole process. And I have 3 scriptures. Here are my notes. And stuff is falling out, but I got up and I started to read, and I burned my incense, my white sage, my frankincense. And these verses are the ones that I thought would be the most helpful for someone that is struggling, just like I am. But I have Romans 12:12 in the KJV. And again, these verses are about patience, because we have to be patient. A lot of times we begin to think that because we're doing something, we should get instant this, instant that. We are in a world where we have been tricked and bamboozled into believing that everything is instant. When we've all grown up with that saying that, what was it? Anything worth having is worth fighting for. If you're fighting for something, the fight is not something that's an instant, you got it. It's a battle. It's a journey. It's a process. And I think we have all forgotten that. I think we have all gotten to the point where we want what we want now. We have forgotten to be patient. I have began fasting and praying more and trying to get back to where I was and hopefully beyond where I was, and fix what I allowed to not only break, but what I allowed to stay broken. So, Romans 12 in the KJV says, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing in instant prayer. Now, I went to the TS 2009, which has more of the Hebrew words in it. So instead of saying Romans, it says Romain. 12:12 says rejoicing in the expectancy, enduring under pressure, continuing steadfastly in prayer. Now, the reason why I picked this one is because it kind of goes deeper. It says rejoicing in the expectancy. Now, I looked up expectancy, and it actually means a state of hope, thinking, wishful thinking, which we all hope. But it says enduring under pressure. KJV says patient in tribulation. I looked up enduring. Enduring means long-lasting, long-suffering. It's a Latin word, has a Latin root, which means hard. If you are enduring, it's hard. It is hard. It is not simple. It is not easy. It is long-lasting, long-suffering. Meaning there will be a battle, there will be suffering, there will be tribulations. It is unceasing, unyielding. It is hard. It is difficult. A lot of times we give up on something because it is difficult. But that challenge, that fight that we go through is there for a reason. None of this is meant to be easy. Whether it's work, whether it's your Hebrew walk, whether it's love, dating, relationships, being a single mom, single dad, whatever, none of it is meant to be easy. And a lot of times we think, because of our Christian backgrounds, not saying anything bad about Christians, but I'm just trying to say that a lot of times, us growing up, it was like, oh, I went to church on Sunday. I got my praise on Sunday, so I'm good. Then the rest of the week, you act a fool. What was the point of Sunday? Did you learn anything? Are you just listening to what the pastor says? Are you reading? Are you living what you learned? No. And we still have that mentality, though we don't think it, we do. We tend to say, oh, I prayed. Oh, I was good this week. I was good this day. I was good for 6 months. And we think we are supposed to have instant gratification, instant reward. This is not Instagram. This is not whatever. Our ancestors did not have the internet and instant gratification. If we go back and we read and we look, they had a battle to go through to even enter into the promised land. And many of them didn't make it. Their children's children made it, or their children made it, because it was 40 years. But they didn't make it. And I really feel like it's because they were not enduring. They were not patient. They didn't understand the long suffering. We got to a point where in the desert, in the wilderness, we began complaining and saying, oh, we miss Egypt because we missed the onions and the leeks and the table scraps when we had manna. It's like literally food from Elohim himself, and we complained. Why? Because we were used to one life, one perspective, and we weren't ready for change. So you have to think, It is said that nothing is new under the sun. We have the same mentality. We are all still stiff-necked people. We are all still trying to figure out things in our own way. So we are still fighting with ourselves, essentially, before we can even begin the supernatural fight. So that being said, we have to endure, we have to suffer, we have to push through. The next word that I thought was interesting, which was continuing steadfastly in prayer. That phrase, steadfastly, stood out to me. And it says, someone who is firm and determined in their belief. Firm. Basically hard. And it comes from an Old English root. And I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but steed-faced. Steed means place, and faced means firmly fixed. We are supposed to be placed, firmly fixed in prayer. That does not mean pray for one day, pray for 2 days, pray for a month. It means, like it says in KJV, continuing. It says instant in prayer, but it should be constant. Our battles, our situations that we go through will be forever coming. The enemy is after us. He is after our unity. He is after everything. Because if we come together, if we do as we should, we would be powerful. If we follow the Most High as we should and do as we should, we would be powerful. And the enemy does not want that. Whether the enemy is some of your family members, whether it's, supernatural, the enemy does not want us to do what it is that we are supposed to do. That being said, we have to stay firmly fixed in prayer, not bopping around, which I did for the past 10 months. It is about being firmly fixed. Do not move. Be unyielding. Be unyielding. We have to understand that there will be suffering, there will be trials and tribulations, and we hear that and we say that all the time, but we aren't really prepared for what comes with it. I have had the hardest 2 years of my life. 3, really. There's been so much change, so much upset, so much moving and shaking that it would make anybody else's head spin. And though I went through my depression, I really feel like I came out of it better than I had before. And I'm still going. I am still healing. I am still crying. I am still smiling. I am still everything. And it's okay. But one thing that I have to remember is to be patient. Psalms 37:7 in the KJV. I didn't go to the TS 2009 in this one. But it says, rest in Elohim and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. It's not about our own way. We have to get out of our own way, and we have to worry about what is the way of the Most High, the way of Elohim. Rest in Elohim. When you rest, you are safe, you are confident, you are still. When you're resting, you're not really worried about other things. You are confident in that. Rest in Elohim and wait patiently for him. patience. I'm saying this to you as I'm saying it to myself. I'm literally looking at myself while doing this. But we must be patient. Patience. I think I need to like write a note to myself, even if I have to write a timer as far as making sure I pray, but patient. I can't do something one time and think it's enough, 2 times and think it's enough. It is not. I must be firmly fixed, unchanging, unyielding, because He is unchanging, unyielding. Once the Most High makes up His mind about something, it is that. We have our things to abide by, but we don't choose to follow them. The last one is Psalms 27:14. Wait on Elohim, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on Elohim. Wait. Patiently wait. Steadfast, firmly fixed, enduring, long-lasting suffering. It is not something that is going to be overnight. It is not something that's going to change quickly. It will take time. So even though you see no advances in yourself, even though you see no changes, understand that change is coming, and be patient. Be patient. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm just using that because that's the best thing I can think of, but none of that was built in a day. None of it. We have to understand and take the time to understand that life is not an instant thing. There is no button to push, There is no, erase memory, start over, reset button. There isn't. All that we can do is repent from what we have done, turn away from it, and become better. And constantly work on becoming better, being patient, resting in Yah, trusting in Him, being confident in Him, leaning not to our own devices, but trusting Him. I will go back to doing my videos, and I will go back to, speaking, because this is what I feel like He wants me to do, and I'm not going to let any negative thoughts, any negative comments, remarks, or any of that change that. I am not the best example of anyone. I am no role model. But that should make it even more relatable. I am not perfect, but I'm trying to be. And with that being said, I'm no different than anyone else. I am not above anyone, but what I say does matter. May not matter to you, but to someone. And if not, then I'll just have a great vlog or video journal of my journey. Hopefully that touches someone. Hopefully that means something to someone. It meant a lot to me. So with that, it is like 2:47 in the morning. I need to get some sleep. But I had it on my heart and I had to speak. So with that, I say shalom, and I hope that this helps someone.